In the next 45 minutes, I'm going to give you one of the biggest mistakes that most funnel builders do that gets them stuck over and over and over in the $2,000, $3,000 margin a month, and that, don't really allow them to grow more than that because they are stuck in the technical things. So I'm going to share with you how you can overcome that. I'm going to share with you how can you quickly fix so that your 2026 becomes much, much better. So let's go ahead. This video is going to be a long one, but I guarantee you still to the end because this is absolutely worth it. So let's go ahead and make things happening. The very first thing we want to understand is in order for you to make money, you need to get money-making opportunities, okay? So you need to have opportunities. And you want to be focused on the opportunities. You don't want to be focused on the money. Okay, so how can you generate more opportunities? This is where your focus should be. Okay, now on top of that, of course, you want to have the other part, which is delivery. So usually this is why I recommend every funnel builder to set up a specific time frame, time block. And if you want to learn more about focus blocks, I have a different video on my channel. But after you finish this one, go ahead and find that one. Okay, so first thing is you want to learn. You want to start your day with learning, okay? This is where you're fresh. This is where you are just, embracing the day. Learn, okay? You don't need more than 30 minutes a day, okay? At least if you do this consistently, you are on the way to go. Then you need a way to go ahead and build opportunities. And then you need a way to deliver. So let's say that most people have 8 hours. I'll say 30 minutes right here. I'll say deliver at least 4 hours a day. And then the rest time, which is an hour and a half, right? I don't even know. I think so, right? No, there's even more. Okay, so basically 4 times 4, half 30. So it's 3 hours and a half. Okay, so you have 3 hours and a half to find opportunities. This is what you need to be focused on. Okay, so when you have this setup, now you need to be extremely good and disciplined at all these 3 things. Today, we're going to talk about opportunities. One of the biggest mistakes that most people do is they don't know what they should do. Okay, so what they do is they copy what other people do. But guess what? They copy the wrong people. They copy the high 7-figure, 8-figure, and 9-figure gurus. Guess what? Those people got there not doing what they are doing right now. They got there doing things completely different. Okay, which is what I'm going to be sharing with you here on this video. And right now, they are here, and they have different structures. So if you try to copy a 7, 8, or 9-figure structure, you are going to find yourself in a very, very tough position because you don't have the assets you need to make that thing happen. So this is why you see, like these people, you have lead magnets, they have a low ticket, they have, an entry product for monthly recurring revenue, they have Facebook groups, they have school groups, right? They have high ticket, and they have some mid-ticket products as well, and they have newsletters, and they have all these different things. Why? They have podcasts, they have interviews, right? They have all these things. Why? Because they have the resources to allocate on this. So all this is various different ways to do the same thing, which is to create visibility and to create more opportunities. Okay? But they do all these because they are at the scale of a 7, 8, or 9 figure. They have resources to do that. And once you get to 7 figures, now you are playing on a larger scale. It's more gain to get even more visibility. Okay? Now, you are not here, right? If you are watching this video, you are not here. Chances are, like 99% of you are not in 7 figures. So you are basically around 5 figures looking to go to 6 figures, right? So I'm going to share with you what has been working to me to get to 6 figures and consistently, and especially for funnel builders. So let's go ahead and focus on that because that's why you are here. So first things first, you want to find opportunities. And opportunities is basically when your target audience meets your narrative and finds interesting enough so then they chat with you. So this is the sequence, the equation of opportunities. Target audience meets your narrative, they find it interesting, something clicks, and they want to chat with you. So what you want to do is you want to have a process that allows you to create and generate this multiple times. Okay? So what I do is super simple. I understand my target audience and I understand what they want, their desires. I understand their struggles. I understand all those different things, right? Customer avatar, you want to know that. So what I do is every single day I create a short form content and a long form content, just like this video you are seeing right now. And this video is going to be sharing the narratives. Okay, so I understand my target audience. Then I create videos, short form and long form, that are evergreen, by the way, right? And these are basically built to work for the narrative they are looking for. So every single one of these videos, they need to make sense, they need to click, they need to point out the problems, they need to point out what they should be doing instead, so something clicks. And then at the end of each video, I'm going to do something which you know what it is, which is a CTA, and I'm going to send people to a specific place. Now, in my specific case, I do done for you, but I also have coaching. Okay, so I have two businesses. I don't recommend you doing that. It's going to struggle you. Don't do that. What you want to do is focus on one business. And if you're a funnel builder, you should be focused on done for you. Forget about everything else, because you are not going to have enough time for all that stuff. Okay, I suffer from that, but anyway, it is what it is. Okay, so your CTA should always be for people to visit your VSL funnel or your application funnel. That's it. So you enlighten people right here through the narrative that they need, through the videos that you create, and you send all the traffic to one place. And that place is where you're going to give them an idea of who you are, what you do, who you help, how you help them with, how exactly it works, the problems you solve, and then you give some examples of testimonials, past work, stuff like that, and you guide them to book a call. Now, some people say, I don't want to book a call, I just want to be closing through DM. Sure, if you want to be closing through DM, do that. But have in mind that if you want to close to DM, you are either closing some between $500 or $1,500, okay? Or if you are closing something more expensive than that, you need to have a very, very good personal brand. A very good personal brand. So people need to trust you. They need to follow up. They need to see you for a long time, or you need to be highly recommended, okay? Super important. So if you are not at that stage, don't do just DMs. Guide, qualify, and guide through DMs, but send people to book a call, because book a calls are going to be wonderful for you. You're going to learn how to communicate. You're going to learn exactly the more about their desires, their problems, their blocks. You're going to learn how they communicate. You're going to learn the keywords that they use. You're going to learn how to handle objections a lot more effectively and faster than through DM. You have a much more secure environment to progress as, within your business, okay? So DMs, absolutely phenomenal. I do this as well every once in a while. But if you're starting, or if you're closing something more higher ticket and you don't have a very good personal brand yet, then I recommend you to do sales calls. Okay? So this is what you do. So all you need to be focused on is creating this thing, is making sure that you are always working towards this narrative, which then leads me to this question: are you working on this narrative every single day? If you are not, you should start fixing that as soon as possible. This is your priority. Okay? So what I do is I have a list of topics that I want to cover. I have hundreds and hundreds. And every time I find a new one, guess what? I add onto the list. So here I have hundreds of things that I need to talk about. I want to talk about. These are topics, very good topics. Okay, so every time you have an idea, write it down. So you have a list of topics. And now you want to understand why they care, why they need, and why they need to do it now. Why they care, why they need, what they do now. Because you need to cover these on the topics. You need to cover these on the content, okay? So you have a list of topics. Then you have your content. This is the first thing I do every day, right? I learn, and then I go through the content, short form, and then long form. So long form, you can add to a Loom. You can add to YouTube, whatever you want to do. Okay, you can add to a lead magnet if you want to do, but I don't recommend it. And then what you do is every single time in the contact, in your short form content, you guide them to your long form content. Your long form content, you guide them to your calls. So long form content, you guide them to content calls. So every long form content, you guide them to the calls. Okay, so that's what you do. Super simple. Short form goes to long form. Long form goes to calls. I teach this in my one-on-one with my one-on-one students because this is super effective. It works for me, it works for them. It's brilliant. And the more you do this, the better. Because now you have one video, then you have 10, then you have 100 videos, then you have 1,000. And guess what? People that join here, they're going to watch all these other videos, right? That's your main goal, to do that. People that join here, they're going to watch all these videos, but they're also going to have these other videos for reference, right? People that join here, they're going to have, they want to watch all these videos, but they also have these other videos for reference, and they see like, oh, you have a lot of work, okay? So for new leads, this is amazing because new leads, they are nurtured a lot faster because they have a tons more content they can binge watch. And you already know the longer they stay within watching your content, the higher the chance you have to close them. Okay, so this is absolutely the only thing you need to do. One, you need to do content for the narrative. Two, you need to guide your audience so they know where to go. And three, you need to CTA so you have sales calls so that you can close. That's it. Okay? Content, short form, long form. Short goes to long, long goes to calls. Guide, tell them exactly what they should do, where do they get the most important things for them. Always have them in consideration. And then CTA is basically to go on a sales call to go on a Zoom. Okay, or to go on your page and go to a Zoom. That's it. So always remember about this narrative. Target audience, narrative, and chat. The more you work on this, the more you compound here, the higher leads you have. You don't need Zooms. You don't need how's it called? You don't need Facebook groups, school groups. You don't need low ticket, mid ticket, high. You don't need a course. You don't need webinars. You need none of that stuff. You are someone that wants to get to 10 to 20K a month. To do that, you need to be charging $3,000 per funnel. You need to get 3 to 5 clients a month. If you want to get to 20, you can extend it to 5 clients or a little bit more, or 7 clients, or you can extend it to $5,000 per project that you work. This is the only equation you want to do. You want to increase your odds of doing this, okay? So, and this is something that I teach extensively inside my paid programs. If you are someone that understands this, that if you resonate with this, and you are tired of trial and error, you are tired of that, and you want to learn from a process that has been helping me and has been helping other funnel builders as well, I highly recommend you joining my programs. I have 2 that I will highly recommend. I have my academy, which is a monthly subscription. As soon as you join, you have an entire course. It's like 20 lessons. You can go through that in like 3 to 4 hours, and you learn the entire process. And then the academy is all about giving you consistent support so that you learn. You bring in your DMs, you bring in your content. I will give you feedback so that you're always learning from what you are implementing. It's just $99 a month, I believe, right now. Go ahead, join the academy. Or if you want something more customized, you always have my one-on-one. Okay? So either way, join one of those programs, and I'll see you then. Okay? Cheers.